Yeah. Of course, this will be a bit more challenging than when we were translating from English into Indonesian, because the text that we had to write was in Indonesian, a language that we all master quite well. Yeah. Whereas when we're doing it in the other direction, from Indonesian into English, yeah, many of us are still learning the language, are still in the process of getting a good proficiency of English. Yeah. So this means that we have to work harder. Yeah. Okay. So let me share with you a PowerPoint about some of the challenges and issues that we face when we're translating from Indonesian into English. Okay, let me share this. Can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what are the issues? Of course, when we look at the two languages, we find that people express themselves in different ways in the two languages. Yeah. The grammars of the two languages are different. Yeah. And the meaning of the source text in Indonesian may be ambiguous, as it may not be in standard English. Yeah, this is a problem that we often face when we're dealing with general texts. However, when we're dealing with literary texts, this might not be the case, because literature has usually been well written. Yeah. But sometimes we will still face this problem of sentences being ambiguous. What is the writer actually trying to focus on? Okay, so let's look at the issues concerning grammar. Yeah, of course, the first thing that comes to your mind is the difference in grammar. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? I guess for most people, tenses are very difficult. Yeah, the use of correct tenses in English. The problem is we don't have tenses in English. And that element of time is not embedded in the verb like in English, but in Indonesian, you will have added words like dulu, sekarang, waktu itu, yeah. Whereas in English, this is determined by the tense you are using. Is it the present tense? Is it the past tense? Is it the past perfect tense? Etc. Then you have modals, yeah, those auxiliary verbs that are used together with main verbs, yeah, like could try, I could try it, yeah, or I might go if I might go if I get a ticket, yeah, okay. Then you also have articles like the or a, yeah, which we don't have in Indonesian. Singular, plural, yeah. Sometimes it's difficult to determine from a text whether um, it's talking about a singular noun or a plural noun. And when we are translating into English, we have to know whether it's singular or plural. Yeah. Pronouns, okay, we know in Indonesian, it's more, it's not gender specific. Yeah. You have dia, you have nya, yeah. Whereas in English, it has to be either he, she, or it. Yeah. His, her, or its. Yeah. So this can be a problem if you're not careful. Prepositions. Yeah. Those small words that come after nouns. They can be very troublesome because if you get the prepositions wrong, it might change the meaning. But if it doesn't, it makes your work sloppy. Yeah, kurang accurate. Yeah, okay. Then you also have the active and passive. We know that in Indonesian, the passive is used more often than if we compare it to the use of the passive in English. Yeah, if you compare two texts of about the same topic, you will find that. Yeah, that in English, the text will make use of more the active voice, whereas in the Indonesian version, it's in the passive. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the tenses. Okay, here you see in the Indonesian, the verb remains the same. Membaca, 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 membaca. The additional meaning is added by using phrases telling you about the time. Yeah, time phrases. So you have hari ini, sedang, kemarin, telah. Yeah. Okay. Whereas in English, you will see that the verb changes according to the context. Yeah. And I'm sure that you have learned this in your grammar classes. Yeah. Okay. Here you have some examples. Yeah. The dog chases the cat every day. If it's happening now, I see it outside my window. Is chasing the cat now, or the dog has been chasing the cat all day. When I say this sentence, maybe later in the afternoon, and I report it to a friend, yeah, or who is the owner of the dog, yeah. The dog has been chasing, for example, my cat all day, yeah. All right. And then you have the past perfect, which is combined with another active action in the past too. Yeah. Had chased the cat yesterday before the cat disappeared. Okay. So had chased happens before the verb in the simple past. Then you have the past perfect progressive, of course. Here, the focus is on the action. Past progressive was chasing, yeah. So these all have slight differences, yeah, have slight nuances that are important in English, but not as important in Indonesian, yeah. Simple past, the dog chased the cat yesterday, and present perfect, the dog has chased the cat since yesterday, implying that it's still chasing the cat. Yeah. Okay. Then I think you're all familiar with this, the future tenses. Yeah. Let's look at the text. Here I have a text in Indonesian, yeah, with the verbs underlined. Okay. Shifa, would you like to read the text first for us?
Yeah.
So while we are reading, I want you to
Sorry.
focus the verbs that have been underlined. Okay, please read it, Shifa.
Yang Sabtu lalu ya, Mem?
Ya.
Oke. Sabtu lalu, Amanda, Mika, dan Adi pergi ke Museum Seni Modern baru di pusat kota. Mereka terkesima dengan karya-karya yang dipajang di sana. Ini adalah pertama kalinya Amanda dan Adi ke galeri seni modern. Mika telah mengunjungi banyak galeri seni modern sebelumnya, namun dia belum pernah melihat museum yang semenarik ini. Mereka di sana selama sekitar 3 jam. Saat mereka mengunjungi galeri, seseorang seniman terkenal datang untuk membahas karya-karya terbarunya. Adi dan Mika pergi ke lantai 3 untuk mendengarkan presentasi tersebut. Sementara mereka mengikuti acara tersebut. Amanda mengakhiri lokakarya origami di lantai 1. Pada saat lokakarya berakhir, Mika dan Adi sudah keluar dari pertemuan dengan seniman itu. Selesai mengunjungi semua galeri di museum, mereka pergi ke kafe di museum untuk makan siang. Mereka berencana untuk mengajak teman lain mengunjungi museum itu.
Oke, ya. Jadi di sini kita melihat ini terjadi di masa lampau, jadi ya Sabtu lalu. Jadi kita melihat bahwa kata kerjanya sebagian besar akan berakar dalam kata kerja past tense, ya. Tapi ada juga yang menggunakan past perfect, ya. Oke, coba kita lihat di sini yang sudah diterjemahkan. Oke, ya. Jadi last Saturday, Amanda, Mika, and Adi went to the new Modern Art Museum downtown. They were amazed, yeah, by the works on display there. Now, this was, kita harus lihat bahwa kita juga harus memperhatikan bahwa kata kerjanya itu konsisten dengan kata subjeknya, ya. Jadi was, bukan were, ya. Kemudian Mika had visited. Ya, jadi karena sebelum itu dia sudah pernah mengunjungi museum, ya. Jadi had visited. However, he had never seen. Okay, again, past perfect. They were there for about 3 hours, ya. Simple past tense. Nah, kemudian di sini ada satu kejadian yang terjadi ketika sedang terjadi satu kejadian, sesuatu yang lain terjadi. Jadi ada kombinasi antara present, ini apa? past continuous dengan simple past tense ya. Were visiting when a famous artist came. Oke, kemudian di sini juga sama polanya. Were attending, Amanda joined. Okay. By the time Amanda's workshop ended, Mika and Adi had already left the discussion with the artist. Jadi, yang mana yang lebih cepat berakhir, yaitu diskusi dengan artis, ya, dengan pelukis. Okay. After visiting all the galleries in the museum, they went past tense. Nah, tapi di sini tiba-tiba tense-nya berubah. They are planning to invite other friends to visit the museum. Ya, apakah kita boleh di sini tiba-tiba kok switch ke present tense? Ya, kalau kita tahu kalau ini terjadi dalam satu konteks dan last Saturday itu kan sudah jelas beberapa hari yang lalu dan kejadian ini jadi masih sangat current ya, no relevant. Jadi di sini boleh pakai they are planning karena apa yang direncanakan itu belum terjadi. Jadi boleh they are planning to invite other friends, ya. Oke, bisa juga kalau mau they planned, ya, they were planning to. Bisa, ya. Tapi they are planning to, kalau kita melihat konteks waktu, karena Sabtu itu baru terjadi, dan mereka masih sedang merencanakan, jadi boleh pakai ini. Jadi tentunya ketika kita mau memilih tense mana yang mau dipakai, kita harus pastikan konteksnya dulu. Tidak boleh lepas dari konteks. Oke? Yang berikutnya adalah modals ya. Di sini mungkin pergi, bisa may, bisa might, bisa would. Ya, tentunya perbedaan antara masing-masing model ini sudah dipelajari ya. Kalau saya mau menjelaskan itu terlalu panjang, tetapi mungkin secara ringkas antara may dan might, may itu kemungkinannya lebih besar daripada might ya. Could, ya saya mungkin pergi, mungkin juga enggak, ya could. Jadi bisa, misalnya. Tapi sekali lagi konteks, ya. Kemudian untuk harus, itu bisa must go out, have to go out, ought to, dan should. Ya, again, you need to determine whether you need to use which one to use, okay? Let's look at this one. Yeah. Okay. I need two people to read it for me.
Saya, Mem.
Agus, are you there? Mayona?
Iya, saya.
Mayona
Satu.
and ya, siapa? Agus,
Enggak tahu.
siapa yang mau? Berdua baca.
Ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Sure. So you take B, yeah? Okay, Mayona, you take A. Go
Okay.
ahead.
What do you think I ought to see in London first?
Well, historical places, I think. You should go to Westminster Abbey, and if you can, go to the Houses of Parliament and the National Gallery.
And what about the British Museum? I was told one ought to see it.
I suppose you must go there. You will find masterpieces of the world's best artists.
How can I get to those places?
I think you might be able to go by steamer down by the Thames from Westminster to Tower Bridge. It's a very pleasant way to travel, and you can see London bridges and quite a number of famous landmarks on the way.
Okay. Yeah. So here you see, what do you think I ought to see? Yeah, this is one way. Yeah. Bisa juga, what do you think I should see? Ya. Bisa juga, tapi what do you think I could see in one day? Ya. What do you think I could see if I only have one day? Jadi pakai could, ya. So, semua tentunya tergantung dari konteks. Tetapi itu suatu unsur dalam bahasa Inggris yang penting. Nah, di sini you should go to Westminster Abbey. Should go, you use for a recommendation. But if, for example, Atala feels very strongly about his friend visiting Westminster Abbey, what would you use? If you think, oh, he cannot miss it. Jadi pakai apa? Bukan should, tapi must. Ya,
Have
you
to,
must
maybe.
go. Ya. Jadi ya tentunya tergantung. Ya, you must go. Atau kalau di sini, it's like a recommendation, not so strong. But if you think, yeah, it would be stupid of her not to go, then you would use must. Ya, okay. And if you can, okay. Dan kalau bisa di sini, ya. And if you can, kalau di sini memang can, ya. Nah, di sini ought to again, ya, ought to, harus, ya. It's like ought to, perhaps a bit more formal, ya. Nah, kalimat yang dia pakai juga kayaknya agak formal, ya. I was told one ought to see it. Okay. Jadi, perhaps the relationship between A and B is not too close, yeah. And that's why she's using quite formal language, yeah. I suppose you must go there, okay? You'll find, okay, you must go there. So if okay, sorry about that. Terputus. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The next are articles. Yeah. In Indonesian, we don't have articles. We have words that function like articles, but they're not very common, like sebuah, seorang, sebiji, dan sebagainya. Yeah, which translates into a. And sometimes the possessive suffix nya can function like a definite article. For example, dia bernama Alex, orangnya tinggi, besar, dan ganteng. Kalau diterjemahkan menjadi his name is Alex, the guy is tall, ya, the orangnya, ya. The guy is tall, big, and handsome. Sometimes expressions like kaum atau orang atau yang, ya, will refer to the, like kaum intelektual menolak rancangan undang-undang itu. The intellectuals rejected the bill. Orang miskin semakin bertambah jumlahnya. The poor are growing in numbers. Yang kaya sebaiknya waspada menjadi the rich should be careful. Okay. Now, active and passive. Some sentences are expressed in the passive in Indonesian. It's more natural. But if you translate it as it is into English, it will be very strange. So we often need to change the voice from passive to active. Yeah, like in the first Example, kamu dicari orang tuamu, ya, if you translate it as it is, bagaimana? Kalau kita terjemahkan tanpa mengubah aktif pasif, jadi aneh kan? You are being looked for, ya, by your parents. Pokoknya ajaib. Jadi diubah menjadi your parents are
Your parents
ya,
looking for you.
ya, ya. Oke. Atau badanku kedinginan karena AC. Ya, jadi not my body tapi ya. I was feeling cold. So, like I said, people express themselves in different ways. Bangunan itu terbakar semalam menjadi the building burned down yesterday, ya. Kalau the building was burned down yesterday, artinya beda. Ya, was burned down itu sengaja dibakar, ya. Sedangkan kalau burned down itu terbakar. Kami terganggu oleh suara anak-anak yang bermain di luar. Ya, di sini we were disturbed. Ya. Surat itu kamu tulis tahun lalu menjadi you wrote that letter last year. Ya. Jadi dari pasif lebih baik atau lebih enak terasa ketika kita mengubahnya menjadi pasif. Rumah ini hanya dihuni oleh kami berdua. Ya. You would hear that sentence quite often, but when you translate it into English, you would use the active, making it only the two of us live in this house. Yeah, the two of us live in this house. Aku sudah melakukan apa yang diminta olehnya. Ya, again, in the clause, ya, dari pasif menjadi aktif. I've done what he asked me to do. Ya, Adi ditunggu ibunya menjadi Adi's mother is waiting for him. Ya, oke, ia terkena demam berdarah menjadi he has dengue fever. Yang ini ruang itu sedang mereka bersihkan, ya. Again, you have it in the active. They are cleaning the room. Hal itu terlintas dalam pikiran. It crossed my mind. Okay? So you have to be careful with the passive or active forms to make it sound natural. You often change the passive into the active. Prepositions can be a problem, but these are usually caused by translating literally from Indonesian into English. Yeah, as we know, in English, you have certain patterns: accustomed to, afraid of, answer to, ask something, close to my office, connected to, depends on, etc. Yeah. And these are mistakes because we're translating too faithfully from Indonesian into English. Yeah. And you can always check whether your preposition is correct. Yeah. We have Google at our fingertips and it's easy to check. Now, pronouns and kinship terms. Yeah, kinship terms are terms that indicate the relationships between people. Yeah, family relationships. Okay, if we look at the first sentence, kami mengundang Bapak Ibu Saudara untuk mengikuti resepsi pernikahan anak kami. If we try to translate it faithfully, it will become awkward. Yeah, it doesn't work. So in English, you would probably just say, yeah, we are inviting you. Ya. Kemudian kita akan mengadakan seminar itu minggu lalu. Kita. Ya. In English, we only have we. In Indonesian, we have kita atau kami, depending on whether the person who this is addressed to is included or not. Yeah. So the problem is when you're translating from English into Indonesian. From in English, sama dengan kamu, Anda, ya, formal, but in English it remains the same. You, ya. Saya mengundangnya untuk menghadiri pesta itu. Of course, without context, it's impossible to translate. Yeah, because we don't know whether the nya is a male or a female. So we need a context. And Rizky merayakan ulang tahunnya. Yeah. The problem here is we don't know whether Rizky is a man or a woman. Because I know quite a few men who are called Rizky and also quite a few women. Yeah. So we need to know the context. I remember being in a spot like this when many years ago, Andrea Hirata published his novel, Laskar Pelangi, which became very popular. Yeah. And I was asked to translate a short bio data of him. Now, I had no idea who he was at that time. I didn't know whether he was a man or a woman because the short bio data didn't give any indication of that. Whereas in the translation, of course, I needed to know whether to refer to him as a he or a she. Yeah, so I had to do some research. I had to ask people, yeah, because he was still quite new. Nah, sekarang ya semua orang tahu, ya. But at that time, I really didn't know. So if I had written she, of course, itu jadi a big blunder, yeah. This is just a story to remind you to make sure that the pronouns are right. And I also noticed that when people are using Google Translate or any other machine to translate, the machines get this wrong. Yeah. They sometimes mix it, either he or she, and it becomes confusing. Yeah. Of course, I'm not recommending you to do that. I would prefer you to do it yourself first. Ya, nanti kalau sudah mahir, ya, and you need to more time or you want to do it quickly, yeah, of course you can make use of the tools that are available. But first of all, you need to learn how to do it for yourself. Okay, now more issues are related to collocations, yeah, words that go together, idioms, yeah, words that go together, but then produce a very different meaning than the original words, figurative language, yeah, figurative speech, majas-majas seperti personification, simile, metaphor, paradox, etc. Cultural words we had this, yeah, words based on the culture, yeah, that come into the story, and ambiguity, yeah. But ambiguity can be a problem. Sometimes it's ambiguous because non-standard Indonesian has been used, but sometimes it's just the structure of the sentence that's causing the problem. So here are some collocations. We just look like batu ginjal. Literary translation works because it's the same. Tapi untuk yang lain beda. Seperti es batu, yeah, you don't say stone ice, yeah, but ice cubes, okay? So in rare cases, you can translate it literally like batu ginjal dengan kidney stones. But more often, you cannot make a direct or literal translation. Okay, here are other collocations, yeah, like mati lampu, okay, it's a power failure, yeah, not the light is dead, yeah, okay, etc. So be careful when you have collocations like this. Make sure you try to find the meaning in English and not translate it literally. Figurative language, okay. Like kutu loncat, again, you don't translate it literally because it means an opportunist. Air mata buaya, nowadays I find that it's translated literally like this, and people get the meaning, which is insincere emotions. Whereas kambing hitam, do not translate it with black sheep, yeah. An expression that sounds the same, but is actually different. Black sheep adalah, like if you have the black sheep in the family, for example, if all the other members of the family are very hardworking, yeah, hardworking and honest, and there's one member that is the opposite. He doesn't like to work and is very dishonest, ya, okay. Nah, dan di sini yang lain-lain bisa dilihat sendiri. Okay. And of course for proverbs atau kata mutiara, ya, berat sama dipikul, ringan sama didinjing, ya, you cannot translate it literally, but you probably have to find a proverb that means that has the same meaning. Or if you cannot find it, then you just paraphrase it, yeah? Maybe a saying for this in English would be to be together through thick and thin, yeah? Jadi to be together through thick and thin, yeah? Very different, but with the same meaning. Okay, we have done this, cultural words. Let's look at ambiguity. So, putra jenderal yang kaya raya itu. This can be ambiguous because we don't know who is kaya raya. Is it the general or the son? Yeah, again, context determines. Istri pegawai yang gemuk itu berasal dari Surabaya. Yeah, who is obese? The wife or the employee? Saya membeli buku sejarah demokrasi yang baru. Is the book, is this about the book that's new? Or is it about the democracy, a new democracy. Ya, nah kalau ini kan beda sekali. Okay, another example would be sumbangan kedua sekolah itu telah kami terima. If it's oral, perhaps the intonation will indicate, like when I say sumbangan kedua sekolah itu telah kami terima. So yeah, that will mean that we have received the second contribution. Ya, sedangkan kalau kita sumbangan kedua sekolah itu telah kami terima. Ya, which means we have received contributions from the two schools. Tapi kalau dalam bahasa tulisan tentunya intonasi itu tidak tertangkap. And what do? We make sure we know what the meaning is from the context. Now, this one can also be very problematic. It might start a demonstration, ya. Gaji karyawan baru dinaikkan, ya. Does it mean the salary of the new employee was raised? Atau the salary of employees have just been raised? Yeah. Okay, as you can see, this can be very problematic. If the meaning is the salary of the new employee was raised and the others didn't get a raise, tentunya ini akan memicu masalah. Yeah. Okay, so it might be something sensitive. This one is rather amusing, yeah, but I saw it in a certain context. Wanita atau pria yang berambut panjang harus diikat. Oke, yang harus diikat apanya? Wanitanya, orangnya, atau rambutnya? Ya, amusing, but it happens. Okay, so those are things that you need to consider. And always refer to the text. Yeah. And if you want to enhance your language skills, if you want to make yourself more aware of the language, you can do some language awareness activities in which you take a text that's written in English and you underline, for example, first if you want to improve your use of the tenses, you underline all the verbs and you decide, or you look at the verbs to see how the writers have used the tenses. Yeah, of course, you must be sure that the text is written by by an educated native speaker. Yeah, okay. And you can also do the similar kind of activity to make yourself more skilled in the use of articles by underlining articles, or the, on, none in a text, and see why the writer does this. Okay, so those are useful language awareness activities. So today we're going to translate a fable. Yeah, we're starting with a simple story from Indonesian into English. And I want you to consider all those issues that we've just looked at. Yeah. So we're going to read the story first. Let me share again. Share. Okay, where is it? Okay, do you see it? What do you see? Ini. Do you see the screen? Do you
Terlihat
see the
Yes,
kecil.
ma'am.
okay. Ya. Jadi di sini okay, not that one, this one. Gagak yang ingin jadi angsa. All right. So I want you to translate this text into English, of course. Yeah. Remember that it's a fable. Yeah. And remember that these texts are usually narrated in the past. Okay? So I'm going to give you 15 minutes or less, I guess 14 minutes. So until 12 to work on this, and then we'll discuss it together. Okay? Okay. So go ahead and do it. I'm going to keep it on the screen. And later we'll discuss it together. So you have 15 minutes. Okay. Okay. So, Shakila, are you there? Shakila? Yeah, can you read your version? State. Yeah. All right. Okay. Nah, let's look at the moral message first ya, karena di sini everyone, ya, setiap orang. Kemudian tapi di sini menjadi our, ya. Kalau ini kan orang ketiga, ya, everyone has. Jadi according to their needs, di sini lebih baik, ya. According to their needs, karena ini orang ketiga kan. Jadi dibuat konsisten, ya. Tapi yang tadi it's not wrong, but this is more accurate. Okay. All right, I like the way you translated this. Terjemahannya cukup bebas, tapi memegang teguh intinya, ya. Seperti di sini, one day a goose desperately wanted to become a goose, ya, ingin sekali dari menjadi desperately. Good job, ya. Kemudian to have white feathers and live around the lake. Baik, ya. So from that moment on, the crow always imitated the goose's behavior. Ya. Nah, di sini satu angsa. Jadi dia lihat satu angsa, terus dia mau meniru angsa itu. Atau kalau di sini, it joined in bathing in the lake, followed them flying around the lake, and ate goose food. Di sini kita melihat ada sedikit pergeseran dari di sini the goose's behavior satu, kemudian jadi banyak. Nah, ini you have to decide. Jadi dia itu mengikuti satu kawanan burung atau dia hanya melihat satu. Dua-dua boleh. Tapi dalam bahasa Inggris jadinya beda. Cara grammarnya sedikit beda, ya. So what do you want? Ya, seperti kalau kita lihat Ikhlasya, di sini dia memilih copying everything the swans did. Ya, oke. Jadi Syakila, mau diapakan? Jadi dia ngikutin satu goose, boleh ya. Jadi, nah goose-nya itu it, he atau she, mau apa? Oke, she followed her, ya. Oke. I'm sure if I could follow all the goose's behavior itu biasanya singular, ya. I could become like a goose, said the crow confidently. Bagus. However, after days of trying to eat goose food, it began getting frequent stomach aches. Good job. Also when it, ya, di sini jadi crow-nya itu tidak dikasih gender, dikasih it. Boleh, ya. Jadi boleh pakai it. Kalau kita melihat ikhlasnya pakai he. Terserah, ya. Tadi goose-nya dikasih she, ya. Ya, oke. Tapi yang jelas harus konsisten, ya. Oke. Also when it stayed too long, it often got sick. Dan ini sudah, it finally realized that it was impossible to become another creature. Ya. Oke. Good job. Thank you, Shakila. Just remember to be consistent, ya. Di sini it, okay. Dan di sini the goose's behavior followed her flying around, ya. Okay. Ikhlasya?
Yes,
Ikhlasya, can you read your version?
yes. The crow's dream of being a swan. One day, a crow really wanted to become a swan, to have white feathers and live peacefully around the lake. So, at that moment, the crow began copying everything the swans did. He joined them in the lake, flew around the lake, and even ate the same food as the swans. I'm sure if I just do everything the swans do, I'll become just like them, said the crow confidently. But after days of trying to eat swan food, the crow started to have stomachache. And when he stayed in the water too long, he often felt sick because of the cold. From that moment, the crow stopped copying the swans. He finally realized that it would never become like another creature. Moral message: everyone has strengths and weaknesses that have been carefully arranged by God, suited to our needs and abilities.
Okay, good job. Let's look at this, ya. Jadi sama tapi beda. And I like the title, The Crow's Dream of Being a Swan, ya. Intinya sama dengan gagah yang ingin jadi angsa. Sama juga dengan the crow who wanted to become a goose. So you can see that you can say similar things in different ways, yeah. I like this title, yeah. Okay. One day a crow really wanted to become a swan, to have white feathers and live peacefully around the lake. Okay, ya. Di sini kita melihat ditambahkan peacefully. Okay, no problem, ya. Karena kita juga bekerja dengan asumsi bahwa swans itu very graceful creatures, geraknya sangat halus dan ya pasti peaceful, ya. Jadi kita membuat yang implisit menjadi eksplisit, which is okay, which is good, ya. So at that moment, ya, jadi bukan at that moment tapi starting, ya. Di sini starting from, ya. That moment, the crow began copying everything the swans did. Ya, oke, itu bagus. He joined them in the lake, ya. Them jadi swans itu. Flew around the lake and even ate the same food as the swans. Ya. Jadi di sini kita melihat bagaimana ini diparafrase dari dan makan makanan angsa. Oke. Intinya sama, tapi ini dibuat lebih lebih mengalir ditambah and even eat the same food as the swans, ya. Good. I'm sure if I just do everything the swans do, I'll become just like them. Ya. Jadi kita melihat bagaimana ini beda dari yang Shakila, tapi intinya sama, ya. And if I do just everything the swans do, I'll become just like them. Yeah, good job. But after days of trying to eat swan food, the crow started to have stomach aches. And when he stayed in the water too long, ya di sini kita melihat crow-nya dijadikan jantan, ya. He often felt sick because of the cold. Alright, ya. Ia jadi sering sakit karena kedinginan. From that moment, the crow stopped copying the swans. He finally realized that it would never become. Nah, di sini ada it. It itu siapa?
Ini gagak.
Iya, jadi harus diganti jadi he. Ya. Oke. Jadi yang seperti itu yang perlu dicek, ya. Jadi he would never become like another creature. Okay, everyone has strengths and weaknesses that have been carefully arranged by God, suited to our needs and abilities. Okay, good job. Ada satu lagi di sini dari Atala. Can you read it, Atala?
Ma'am. One day, a crow really wanted to be like a swan, with white feathers and a life around the lake. And so ever since then, that crow would always copy whatever a swan did. He flew around the lake and kurang kelihatan, ma'am. Ada yang kehalang.
Iya, maaf. Sebentar. Okay, you. Can you see it?
He bathed, kelihatan, ma'am. He bathed in the lake, flew around the lake, and ate whatever swans ate. I believe that I can do everything swans. If I can do everything swans do, I can be like a swan, the crow said confidently. However, after days where the swan had tried to eat what the swan ate, he started to get frequent stomach aches. Similarly, when he had bathed in the water for too long, he got sick because of the cold. Since then, the crow stopped copying the swan, and he learned that he can't be like different creatures. Moral of the story, every person has their own God-ordained strengths and weaknesses that fits our needs and abilities.
Ya, mungkin di sini yang seperti yang tadi yang saya katakan, every person ini kan third person. Sedangkan ini menjadi second person kan, our. Jadi
Area, yeah.
dibuat konsisten. Oke, kemudian yang lain ya, nice, I like this. But here he's copying one swan, isn't he?
Yeah, man.
Jadi di
Typo
sini
harusnya just once.
nggak apa-apa ya. Jadi di sini yang ini aja yang diubah. He learned that he
Oh,
can't be like ini aja dibuat a different ya creature. referring to that. Yeah. Okay. Oke, dan ini menggunakan that the crow would always copy whatever a swan did. Ya. Oke, jadi he was following a swan. Ya. And ate whatever swans ate. Kemudian okay. All right. Good job. I'm going to take one more. Ini ada banyak yang berkontribusi. I'll just pick one. I'll stop share sebentar ya. Okay. I'm going to share Devin's. Is this yours, Devin? Can you read it? Devin?
No, ma'am.
Can you read yours, please?
Oh,
Okay,
wait.
I'll put it bentar ya. I'll share it. Bentar. You see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah. Okay, please read.
One day, a crow wanted to be a swan, having white feathers and can stay around the lake. Since then, crow always followed the swan's behavior. It takes eggs in a lake, flies around the lake, and eats swan's food. I'm sure if I can follow all the swan behaviors, I can be like a swan,
Mhm.
the crow said confidently. However, after days of the crow trying to eat swan food, it often suffered a stomach
Eight.
ache,
Stomach ache.
and when it stayed in the water for too long, it often felt cold and sick. After that, the crow stopped trying to act like a swan. It finally realized that never become like other creatures. Moral of the story: God has arranged for everyone to have their own strengths and weakness based on our needs and abilities.
Abilities. Okay, jadi di sini juga sama kan. There often for everyone to have their own strength and weaknesses. Jadi ini juga harus konsisten, ya. Jadi jangan ke our, tetapi
Eh,
there juga ya. You understand the problem there? Dalam bahasa Indonesianya mungkin ya begitu ya. Kemampuan setiap orang, terus ini di sini kemampuan kita. Tapi kalau dalam bahasa Inggris itu harus lebih konsisten. Okay? Alright, let's look at the story. One day, a crow wanted to be a swan. Ya, okay. Having white feathers, and mungkin di sini nggak usah pakai can, tapi and staying atau mungkin di sini kita bisa and living, ya, living around the lake. Since then, nah di sini harus ada article. Jadi,
The crow.
iya. Nah, tadi itu sekarang jadi the, ya. The crow always followed the swan's behavior. Nah, di sini tense-nya apa di sini? Takes, flies. Tapi di sini ate. Nggak konsisten ya. Dan kita lihat kamu memulainya dengan past tense. So, we just do it in the past tense. Jadi, it takes diganti jadi took. Flies menjadi flew. And ate. Yang ini sudah betul ya. I'm sure if I can follow all the swans behavior ya, karena di sini kelihatannya satu yang diikutin ya. Jadi kalau however, after days of trying, jadi the crow-nya tidak perlu. After days of trying to eat swan food, it often suffered a stomach ache. Okay. And when it stayed in the water for too long, it often felt cold and sick. After that, the crow stopped trying to act like a swan. It finally realized that it could never become like. Di sini karena perbandingannya satu, jadi like another creature. Alright? Okay. Alright. I have to go and prepare for a meeting now. I will post actually here di sini ada satu nanti saya post bersama yang tadi sudah dikerjakan for you to do. Yeah. So for the next you have your break and then you do this in your own time. And there will be one more short story. Yeah. Short children's story to translate. Okay. And like, so you can look at the styles of these 4 different students and they have their own styles. Ada yang membuatnya lebih eksplisit, ada yang menambahkan detail, boleh saja, ya. Tetapi kalau ada detail yang penting itu sebaiknya jangan dihilangkan, ya. Kalau ada sesuatu yang implisit dan ingin dijadikan lebih eksplisit, silahkan. Yang penting hasilnya itu enak dibaca sebagai jadi bahasanya ringan, mudah dibaca, itu yang harus dipertahankan. Oke? Mungkin ada orang juga yang memulainya dengan once upon a time. Ya. Bisa instead of one day, bisa saja karena fabel itu sering sekali dimulai dengan ungkapan seperti itu. Oke? Any questions so far?
Untuk deadline-nya kapan nih?
Untuk deadline-nya? Saya rasa hari ini juga bisa ya jam berapa aja. Dijadikan satu saja ya, pakai itu, yang seperti yang lalu. Bisa?
Bisa.
Iya, oke. Oke. Bisa hari ini, kalau enggak besok juga boleh. Oke. Oke ya, kita tetapkan saja besok ya. Deadline-nya siang ya. Oke?
Baik, Ma'am. Baik, Ma'am.
Ya. Alright, ini saya posting di WA group ya, karena ini akan saya tutup sebentar. Saya posting di WA group, jadi nanti ada 2. Satu short story dan yang ini. Oke. Kemudian yang terjemahannya tadi belum sempat dibahas, silahkan ditempel di situ ya. Oke? Do you understand? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Karena kan ada banyak sebetulnya yang menyumbang, tapi karena waktunya kurang, saya hanya mengambil beberapa untuk dibahas di kelas. So those of you, the others, please paste it on the sheet that I'm going to share with you in the group. All right? Any more questions? Hari ini yang nggak masuk, Rindu ya? Rindu ada sama Nadine. Apakah ikut yang acara itu?
Iya betul Mem, Rindu dan Nadine yang izin hari ini.
Oh, dan ininya suratnya ada ya?
Ada,
Oke.
sudah ada di grup.
Ada di grup, oke. Rindu dan Nadine ya, jadi yang lain semua hadir. Oke, jadi everybody's here. Okay, thank you for coming on time, and I'll see you again. I'll be waiting for your work. Tomorrow's the deadline. And put it in the Google thing. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day. God bless. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.